So, I'm always trying to bring you different ways that you are able to make money. And I interviewed a woman named Kamoy Matthews a couple of years ago with regards to becoming a technical writer. She makes about now, I think, $90 an hour as a technical writer. It's something you can do as an employee, but a lot of people do it as freelance work as well. So, I'm going to play a little bit of this video so she can explain to you what technical writing is. Then I've got an article to show you. And then I have personally taken Kamoy's class. It is really good. It is an online class. If this is something you want to learn more about, you're definitely able to see more interviews with Kamoy and decide if you want to take this course and if this is something that you want to pursue either as a full-time job or as a side work that you want to do. So let's hear a little bit of Kamoy explaining what technical writing is.
So technical writing is, in essence, layman's terms, and it is all about explaining how to do something for a specific user so that they can either be more informed or complete a specific task. So it is very instructional oriented. It usually guides the user to do something or complete something. So some examples would be your manual that you get for your brand new laptop, or it could also be the instructions that you see on when you fill out a form online for your bank, or when you're booking a flight, for example. It basically lays out what you should do next. And the ultimate goal is so that the user does not have to think, essentially. So the more traditional forms of technical writing is usually like long form, like longer manuals and specifications of how a product works. But in today's world, it has evolved so much because we use a lot more apps and web applications that should be a little bit more intuitive. So the copy or the text is more short form and very to the point. But more experienced technical writers will work behind the scenes of those applications that are typically easy to use on the front end, but on the back end, the people that create the app, for example, developers, they need instructions, or other companies that will want to use that app, they need instructions. So the best example I like to give is the Uber app. In order for it to work properly, they have to incorporate some kind of mapping system. It's probably Google Maps. So the instructions behind the scenes, it's called an API. So how do you connect Google Maps to Uber app so that it works together? Those kind of instructions. So
Okay, so you got to hear from Kamoy. Don't necessarily worry so much about the technology because, as she explains, as you begin to learn more about technical writing, you don't have to know necessarily software coding and technology and all of that. You basically interview people to figure out how things work, and then you take your interview notes and put it down in writing for them. So, this is an article really discussing a little bit more about what technical writing is. So they create technical documentation. Examples of technical writing include instruction manuals, product descriptions, memos, user manuals, journal articles, tutorials, quick reference guides, technical materials, software documentation, and white papers. Speaking of white papers, I know a couple of people who make six figures just writing certain types of white papers for certain types of people. So it is really certain types of technical writing that you can do. They may also create more common types of content, including social media posts, press releases, and web pages. So I've always known technical writing to be a little bit more technical than press releases, but that's what this article is saying. So if you want to know a little bit more about Kamoy, it's keepingupwithkamoy.com. Again, I have personally taken this class. I really like it. It's very good. It's very well done. And once you are done with her class, you should be able to either get some gig work, start with Fiverr, start with Upwork, work your way up, and you could potentially get full-time employment as well. I have spoken with a few full-time technical writers at certain companies. Google hires a lot of technical writers. Facebook, these big tech companies hire technical writers full-time. So you can kind of figure out which way you want to do it. Kamoy personally works from home. She used to be a globetrotter. traveling all over the place or digital nomad, but there are a lot of people who are able to work from home being a technical writer. So that is it for me. And I will talk to you in the next video. Take care. Ladies, do you own a small business? Want to get grants for business loans, credit cards, or other types of funding? Then click my link in the description to get all the information.